What if I told you that you can actually bring something with you to the IELTS examination room? Before I tell you what it is, I want to share with you a story, and this is kind of a representation, the metaphor of what I'm going to say. Leave me alone, Baba, leave me alone. My husband is a stand-up comedy enthusiast, and he attends a comedy club. They have a show every month at a random coffee shop. In his club, there was this guy, his name is Ronald, and he was taking stand-up comedy very seriously. He was really passionate about stand-up comedy in general. So in one of the shows, I saw him practicing, and I was kind of like noticing his gesture and his passion for this performance that was coming up. I noticed that he asked his friend to record his performance, and he didn't have a microphone. I came up to him, I took out this particular microphone, and I handed it to him. He did brilliantly in his show, and he recorded the entire performance very nicely. Later on, he handed this microphone back to me, and he was like, "It was so random that you have a microphone in your pocket." To which I said, "This is not random because I am an IELTS trainer. I make my videos and post my videos online. I always have my microphones with me." And the next show, Ronald showed up with the microphone, and he has never showed up to a show without that particular microphone from that day. You might be asking me, how does it even matter? Like, what are you trying to say? Because we are talking about the IELTS exam, we're not talking about a random stand-up comedy show. And I agree with you. We are not talking about random comedy show. We are talking about this microphone, which represents what you can bring to your IELTS examination room. Of course, you need to study. Of course, you need to prepare before taking the exam. And of course, you need to understand that without preparation, it would be very difficult for you to get the band score that you need. But even if you have prepared very well, there has to be something you bring with you to the examination room to make sure that you get the band score that you need. And just like the microphone, this is technical. I'm talking about the grammar points and the vocabulary that you should be bringing with you to the examination room, but not physically in your head. I often tell my clients that when they go to the examination room, they should know exactly what grammar points they are going to use. And when they get the topic for the IELTS writing and IELTS speaking, they should already have in their mind what kind of vocabulary they should be using. We have a checklist for the grammar points that my clients can use and can use properly. Before they are writing, they need to write down the grammar points they need to use. When they write, they need to follow the plan. They need to make sure that all the boxes are checked. The same thing for vocabulary, because it is quite difficult for you to kind of predict what topic you will get in your IELTS writing and IELTS listening. So it is better for you to prepare beforehand when you are practicing. At the end of the day, IELTS writing topics will be around a few different topics only. Yes, the arguments may be different, but we have the topic of education, for example, with different arguments. If you have a topic about education, there are a bunch of vocabulary words you can use. Does it count as memorizing the answers? No, absolutely not. It's because you are using the grammar and the vocabulary that you know and you can use properly in your writing and your speaking. It doesn't count as memorized. And with practice, the grammar points and the vocabulary will come very naturally in your writing and your speaking. Don't worry about that. If you want something above 6.5 for IELTS writing and IELTS speaking for grammar points, this is what I recommend. And for vocabulary, I always recommend using as many two-word phrases as possible. You can find vocabulary on a lot of different topics on my website. It's free of charge. Just go to practicenight.co. Under the section of free resources, you will see the collection for vocabulary. But again, at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense if you don't practice. Practice makes 9. Go to practicenight.co to get free practice tests and a lot of different tips. I'll see you there. For now, you have fun learning. Bye.